Alright, hello my friends, welcome back to your daily reset. We've gotten a few requests saying that knees have been a little bit achy the last few days, so we're going to focus on those today. But if your knees haven't been bothering you, you're also going to get a nice big old stretch through the front of our quads, into the front of our hips as well. So always a good one to come back to if our legs are feeling a little sore. For this little routine today, what we're going to need is, I grabbed a blanket to use as a little bit of cushioning. You can also use a pillow, which is going to help cushion underneath our knees later on. And then also either a towel, or I grabbed a little bit of a light jacket just because I didn't want to get another towel dirty. So I grabbed that. If you want to pause your video, kind of go find those real quick, feel free. Whatever you got, you can use. So we'll get right into it today. We're actually going to start out by doing a set of 15 air squats. So let's come on up to our feet. Get your feet in your squat stance and just no cueing or anything. Let's just go through 15 squats just to get a little bit of blood flowing through our legs. Our tissues tend to respond a little bit better when we're a little bit warmer. So we're just going to kind of warm up our legs. You can also kind of use this as a chance to test out how things are feeling today. See how your knees are feeling, check in. All right, now that's through. Let's take it on back to our ground. We're gonna grab our towel or jacket first. And what we're gonna do, you can just kind of sit cross-legged, however's comfortable for you. We're gonna go on one knee bent, so foot flat on the floor and that knee bent. And then I find it's usually a little bit more comfortable with that other leg just extended out long. We're gonna take that towel, we're gonna kind of get it up into underneath our knee crease, right behind our kneecap. So it's gonna go there. We are going to pull our heel in towards our glute as much as we can. Once we've gotten that, you're going to start to feel a little bit of pressure behind your knee from that towel or that jacket being back there. And then what we're going to do, we're going to press hands down into the floor, lift our hips, and then if it's comfortable for you, we're going to shift our hips towards our heel. So you're going to feel a little bit of like a gapping type of sensation in that knee, and that's really what that towel is designed there to do. It's actually putting some pressure behind our knee, kind of pulling on some of those tissues to give your knee a little bit more space to kind of recover, because our knee sometimes just gets like jammed down in there. You hear people like say they have arthritis in their knees, things like that. This feels really, really good for that. So we're going to rock back and forth. Should note, if you've had surgeries on your knee, anything like that, and you feel anything kind of sketchy in this, I mean, you know your body better than anyone else, so please feel free. You can kind of skip through this little portion if this feels uncomfortable in any way, or if you just want to back off the pressure a little bit, you can. All right, let's go ahead and switch legs. So we'll send one leg out long. Again, getting that towel or that jacket up as high as we can. We're going to scoot that heel in towards our glute, and then we'll pick up our hips and then start that little rocking motion. Can feel different side to side too. Sometimes a good thing to know if you have more issues on one knee versus the other, and this like feels particularly good on one knee. You can always throw this in as kind of a warm-up before a workout, or a good thing to do just kind of on the regular every few days. We usually go about 60 seconds, so about a minute here, maybe a minute and a half if it's feeling really good and you just kind of want some more time in there. Should note, you can do this with a lacrosse ball behind your knee as well. It's an option some people like to do. It's a little bit more intense just because it's that firm object. Let's go ahead and ease out of that. You can set your towel or jacket to the side. So if you do that with a lacrosse ball, if you feel any sort of kind of sketchy sensation as well, almost like you like hit your funny bone. There's a lot of nerves that run right behind our knee. So if you feel anything like that, usually just an indication that lacrosse ball's in a slightly like wrong place, for lack of a better term, so you can just shift it around and try again. But cool, now that we're through that, let's go ahead. We're gonna need that blanket or the pillow that we grabbed. We're gonna just place that wherever we're working today. And we're gonna go ahead and set our knees on that blanket or our pillow. Hands are gonna come just right underneath our shoulders, kind of like we're setting up for a cat-cow or like a 4-8 plank on our knees. And then from here, what we are gonna do is bring our right foot out in front of our right hand. So we're gonna bring it up and around. And then first things first, let's keep left hand right where it is. Let's reach right hand up for the ceiling. Get a big old twist through the front of our chest and our upper back. And then we're gonna pick up that back foot. And then with this right hand that's in the air, I'm gonna reach on back. Grab that left foot. And then try to open back up my chest. So we're gonna feel a big old stretch through the front of that quad on that knee that we're grabbing hold of. If, we can't grab onto that foot, that is totally okay. You're not alone. Few things to try first. We can bring that left hand that's on the floor up to, say, like a few books. You can go on like the box of a puzzle or something, whatever you got at home. I know we're all doing those right now. So you can do that. That's just going to help us open up a little bit more. Or if you want to, you can just come all the way up to a lunge. Right hand can set on that front leg, and then left hand can come to our left foot as well. So tons of options, but wherever we find ourselves, let's take about 5 more deep breaths in and out. Perfect. All right, let's release hold of that foot behind us. We'll transition it to the other side. That knee can come on back down. Let's bring our left foot up and around towards the outside of our left hand. Our right hand's going to stay down on the mat or the floor. Left hand's going to reach on up for the ceiling. And reach up first. Open up the upper back. And then we'll reach that left hand for our right foot. And again, if we want to bring hands up to a box, a block, or if we want to come on up to that one that just starts in that low lunge position with hands on our front knee, whatever works. I'll hold here about a minute. All right, let's take 2 more big deep breaths. All right, and slowly we'll release that foot down back behind us. We can bring our left knee back onto the floor and we can just kind of sit back. Let's scoot that blanket out to the side for now. Can come back to it, it'll be another option here in a second. We're going to come into another stretch for our quads and for the front of our hips as well. So how we're going to set up for this one, I'm going to bring my knees just a little bit wider than my hips. So think like shoulder width. Like if I'm setting up for a child's pose, pretty similar knee position here. And my big toes are going to touch back behind me. So they're a little bit more narrow. And then I'm just going to walk back, trying to take a little bit of a seat on my heels if I can. If this isn't super comfortable for you, you can always bring that blanket or your pillow back behind your knees as well to kind of bring that into a little bit less of a stretch. So that's an option, but kind of show it without that for now. So when we're here, Gonna walk hands back just as far as I can, as is comfortable for me. Once I find a position that there feels like there's a little bit of a stretch in the front of my hips, the front of my quads, I'm gonna pause there. I'm gonna think about squeezing my glutes as hard as I can. So glutes may even pop up off our heels, and that's okay. It's actually kind of good. It takes a little bit of pressure too off the front of our ankles. So when we're here again, we'll just try to take some big old deep breaths. I like to think about trying to open up my shoulders, kind of get a big old stretch through the front of my chest as well at the same time. One other option for you, if this hurts the front of your ankles, if kind of being in that pointed toe position is a little bit painful, instead of doing this today, let's just spend a little bit of time working on that position. So instead, you can just be kind of up on hands and knees in this position and working on rocking back. Get a little bit more of a stretch into the front of the ankle. So, good thing to work on as well. Slowly can kind of release that squeeze of our glutes. We can walk hands on forward, and just to give the knees a little bit of a break, let's walk hands forward. Let's tuck our toes underneath. We'll send hips up to the ceiling. Things might feel a little stiff there. That's okay. That's a lot of time in a really bent knee position. So let's just take a moment here. We can kind of pedal out our feet in a down dog position. Come really high up on your toes and bend your knees, and then sink heels down towards the floor. All right, and then let's walk our hands back towards our feet. We'll come on up to stand. We're gonna finish off just with 10 more air squats. So another chance for you to kind of retest, see how things feel, see how a squat feels after doing that little bit of a knee-hab, if you will. So let's just go with 10 squats. All right, guys, that is all I've got for you today. If you felt a lot better maybe in that last set of air squats, good thing just to take note of. Maybe come back to this video every so often, give your knees a little bit of attention. Hope you're feeling better, and I'll see you again soon.